Welcome back. In this video, I'm going to go ahead and configure guest wireless again. And you may say, but we configured that before. Well, yeah, we did. We configured it with the easy wireless setup wizard, but um, as some of you have noticed, you don't really get access to that if you're upgrading. It would have to be like a greenfield environment at the moment because it is in beta as of ICE 2.2. So while you have access to it if you're installing ICE brand new, if you're just upgrading ICE, you won't have that same functionality. And I definitely wanted to cover how to configure it here. So let me go ahead and pull up my wireless controller really quickly and kind of go through some of the settings I have to set up initially to configure this. So the first thing I need to set up is make sure is enabled is I like to do fast SSID change. Another thing that's important is making sure that the dhcp proxy is unchecked. Now you can do this globally, or you can also do it per interface. Which if you look at this, you can have the interface set to the global mode or just uncheck here. You have some flexibility there if you don't want to do it on everything. The other thing that's important is, so when you initially go into your wireless controller, you want to set up ICE under the Radius authentication server. You'll have your shared secret there. Make sure it's enabled, and the support, this is very important, support for RFC 3576. You want to make sure it's enabled for network user. We don't care about it for management user right now. And under accounting, and just side note, want to make sure that AP, MAC address, SSID is the auth called station type. Then under accounting, system MAC address is just fine, and you can see here that it's enabled and only for network user. And next thing you can do is if you wanted to go ahead and configure flex ACLs or ACLs, depends on how you have your access point set up. In my situation, I have my access point set up for Flex Connect. So, and that just, it's a little bit different. If you're going to have your redirect ACL, you do need to make sure that you have that Flex Connect ACL for it. Right there. So I'm going to also go ahead and create a guest ACL. So this is going to be guest. And you can do this through CLI. It is actually a bit faster. And just so I show you what the redirect it looks like. To and from ICE is okay. DNS is okay. Everything else is blocked. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I create an ACL for that guest access. So let me go back here and start adding the rules. So first thing is going to be say permit, and the protocol is going to be UDP. Source port is going to be a DHCP client, and destination port is going to be DHCP server. And we're going to go ahead and just say any for now. And then next rule is going to be another permit, and this one is going to be for DNS. So protocol UDP, destination port is going to be DNS, and direction inbound. Apply. And the next one I'm going to do is, so for ICE, 3. We're going to permit that. And we're going to deny, I'm sorry, it's going to be, I think we're on 4 now. We're going to deny our private IP range. Actually, this one's going to be permit, right? lot of my services are there. So just that IP address. And we're gonna, the last rule is going to be deny. And that's going to be our second to last rule, destination. The last rule will be permit IP any, or deny IP any. So, or, apologies, this is going to be permit. So basically everything except my private IP range will be good. So first thing we're going to go ahead and do after we've configured that, I'm going to start configuring the SSIDs initially over here. So let's go over to WLAN and let's create a new one. This is going to be, just go ahead and say it's going to be test guest SSID. Apply. And we want to make sure it's enabled, so that we did choose interface, which I only have one right now in here. So that's good. And then under security, we're going to go ahead and let's see. I don't think there's much I need here. It's already kind of configured. I don't think we need MAC filtering. Or this is going to be none. MAC filtering is going to be enabled. And let's see, this is fine. And we're going to make sure that the ICE is chosen. Perfect. Under advanced, this is where I see, most of the time I see when there's issues, it's over here. So you want to make sure that allow AAA override is enabled. DHCP address assignment. You want to make sure the NAC state is radius NAC. And want to make sure that radius client profiling is enabled. Let's apply that. Apply. Save that. And just to double check, I think we did that pretty similar to this guy up here, which we did with the ICE easy wizard for wireless. So let's go over here and start writing out our policies. So we can go to work centers, guest access, and let's go to portals and component. In this case, let's go ahead and you can do self-registered guest, sponsored guest. I'm just going to do hotspot guest. So let's go ahead and this will be just a simple check, approved, you got internet access. So this is going to be, and in this case I can do, I can say there's going to be an acceptable use policy, a post banner access banner page. If I want to do a VLAN DHCP release, customize a portal, or if you want to, you can use the ICE portal builder, which is a free service you can use. You just go to icepb.cisco.com, sign in with your CCO ID, and it gives you a really easy way to configure your own guest portals. I'm just going to go ahead and save this for now. And now I have to kind of tie this in with a authorization profile. So let's go to policy. I think this is saved. I hope so. We're going to policy results. And let's go ahead and just create our results right now. In this case, I think it's the only thing I'm going to do is, so I'm going to create the splash page. This is going to be, or tie in the splash page here. So this is going to be hotspot, or hotspot auth, or hotspot redirect. Now down here, I'm going to go ahead and click web redirection, and this is going to be hotspot. And we can pick the hotspot if we have multiple portals, which we only have the default one. And I'm going to call out the ACL that's on the actual wireless controller for redirect. Web auth. That's redirect. That's nothing else but that. And to create the policy, pretty simple. From here, we'll go back to policy sets, create a new policy set. And actually, I'm going to save myself a little time here. Hold on. I'm going to duplicate this above. So in this case, it's just going to be wireless devices, and the radius called station ID ends with test guest SSID. So you can see that that policy right up there. So it's just doing MAB, and then after the endpoint gets on, it's granted permit access. And actually, I'm going to change the authorization profile. I didn't really build one for this, and then we're going to pick the hotspot redirect one over here. So let me go back and create the guest level of access. We're going to call out that ACL on the wireless controller. So wireless guest. And the only thing we're going to say on here is we're going to point towards the aerospace ACL name, which is guest. Click submit. And back under policy sets, we'll go ahead and go to this. I'm going to change the access to wireless guest. Move that. Done. Let's test this out. It's been a while since I did this manually, but this should be fairly easy. Let's go ahead and open that console up. All right, there we go. Let's see what happens. Woohoo! Okay, let's see if so my connection's now successful. Let's see if I can ping anything else on the LAN. And just so we can go be clear, so let's ping 10.1.100.10. Nope. But we can try to ping 40. Let's see. I also might have a proxy in the way, so give me a moment with that. Yeah. Let's turn that off for a sec. Should be able to access this outbound, just not. 10.1.1. That might be on me. I made some changes. I should have actually allowed inbound from that IP address, but let's take a look at the wireless clients really quickly. So clients, we did get redirected, and let's see what the ACL is on this thing right now. Okay, so the ACL we called out was applied. I just wrote it wrong after I was redirected. So pretty easy to do. If if I wanted to use this for, more complicated guest access, I could always, instead of using the hotspot access, let's go ahead and, make a couple changes. I'm going to go ahead and, disconnect from this. I don't want to be connected to that anymore. So let's say I wanted to go over here to, let's say, portals and components. Let's see. Oops, wrong one. So let's say I want to do, self-registered guest. So that one is, very similar. The only thing I'd be changing essentially over here is, and actually let me go back over here really quickly to guest access, portals, and for self-registered guests, let's kind of dig in. There are some intricacies that you can certainly be aware of. So if you wanted to go ahead and configure like a certificate on there specifically for that, allow guests to create their own accounts, allow them to change their own access. You could require an access code before they can even, create their own guest account. And we'll just go ahead and put this in there ice cold. Self-registration settings, you can force them to put in custom fields, send their credentials automatically via email or SMS. So a couple different things, certainly a lot of different options you can choose if you want to get very granular. So you could also require approval, but let them register initially. Let's see. So let's go ahead and save this really quickly. And then literally the only thing I'm going to change is I'm going to go to, actually, there it's saved. Then I'm going to go over to results. And I'll go to, I'm not really keeping much of a name convention here by changing this, but let's go ahead and go to Central Web Auth, and we're going to point it towards the self-registered guest. Click Save. I'm going to go ahead and delete the client so it's not cached there anymore. Move. Okay. Is my client still connecting? No. Okay, so let's go ahead and remove. Okay, and I'll make sure that that endpoint is just deleted out of ICE so there's no confusion. All right, so let's go ahead and reconnect to test guest SID. Actually, while I do that, I'm going to actually go back to wireless controller and kind of make some changes on that ACL because I do want to make sure I can go to one endpoint in my deployment to kind of show that the access control list works. So let's go back to this ACL, go to guest, and so I'm allowing, it looks like any, I want to source is 10, 1, 140, 255, 25, 25, 25. I'm going to permit that, and let's just put that at 3. Make sure it's above the deny statement. So, looks good. There's my deny over there, under there. Actually, back, apply. All right, so let's go ahead and test this out again. Right to the redirect, and don't have an account, so go ahead and KMac, Catherine, McNamara, Cat, Mac, at blah.com, 66, 999, 9999, node. And there we go. I have my username and password. So, and you can make it as complex as you want or not. But in this case, I'm going to, and there's that passcode it's asking me for, the ice cold that we previously configured. Accept this, continue. Awesome. So let's go ahead and see if I have access to the, with my adjusted ACL. Actually, I just want to. Perfect. Now I do. So yeah, it's once you initially set up your guest access, your guest policies, it's really easy to do it again and again after that. Again, thank you guys for watching. I hope that was useful for you guys.